Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be learning how to make a Mickey puff puff. I hope we all know what puff puff is, so let me quickly tell you what puff puff is. Puff puff is a very cheap and a popular Nigerian snacks, but it can be tricky if you don't adhere to its recipe. If you don't have a stable recipe for this puff puff, it can be very tricky. So today I am going to be sharing with you a quick recipe you can be using for your puff puff. You can use this recipe and make puff puff for your children at home. You can also prepare snacks for them. You can as well use this recipe for your party. So sit back and watch. Make sure you watch this video to the end. So let's get started. Here we have all the ingredients we'll be needing for this recipe. So what we have here is we have 2 cups of flour here. We have half cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk. You can use any milk you want. Then we'll have 1/2 tablespoon of yeast. Then what we have here is our fresh pepper and our fresh onions, but it's optional. We'll have 1 fresh egg and we'll have a milk flavor. You can use any type of milk flavor you choose to use in this recipe. You can equally use any type of flavor you want or milk. So we'll have there 1/2 cup of water. Then we'll have our oil for deep frying. Make sure you're going to deep fry it, because if you don't deep fry it, you're not going to get a good looking puff puff. So the next step we're going to take is adding all the ingredients in a stainless bowl. You can use any bowl that you have, but what I'm going to be using here is a stainless bowl and my turner. So you add all the ingredients together. Make sure you sieve your flour, please. Add everything in a stainless bowl. You can mix with your hand if you choose to, but make sure you wash your hands very well. But personally, I choose to use this toner. For the fresh onions and pepper, we'll add it after the rising hour. So what we do, you start adding your water bit by bit. Make sure you add the water bit by bit. Don't pour at a time so that you don't get a running puff puff. So add a little water and keep turning. Add a little water, keep turning. Keep turning the mixture. As you're turning, you're adding your water bit by bit. As you're turning the mixture, you're adding your water little at a time, little at a time, little at a time. Remember, I said you can use your hand if you feel like using your hand, but personally, I choose to use this turner. Keep adding. What I used in this recipe is 1/2 cup of water. Make sure you don't pour your water at a time, because if you pour your water at a time, you're going to have a problem in this recipe. I mean, your dough is going to look runny. So I advise you pour little at a time, just the way I am doing it here. Add little at a time and you keep turning. Keep turning it until you get a smooth mixture. Your mixture is going to be very smooth, and it's not going to be too runny, it's not going to be thick. Then after you have finished turning it and it is smooth and good looking, the next thing that we are going to do after the turning is to let it rest for about 30 to 35 minutes. After you have finished turning it and you are sure you have a smooth mixture, you allow your mixture to rest for 30 to 35 minutes. Now look here, I have a smooth mixture. It is very smooth, very smooth, and it is not runny, it is not thick. So what I'm going to do now is to cover my mixture and allow it to rest for 30 to 35 minutes. So let's allow it to rest 30 to 35 minutes. Cover your dough, let it rest. Okay. Hi guys, let's check our mixture and see how far it has gone. Okay, you see how it is looking. You see how it is looking. It is time for the onions and pepper. So you add in your onions and pepper at this stage and make use of your turner to turn it together. You can use your spoon at this stage now to turn. Make sure you turn the mixture together with the onions. What I'm putting here is 1 teaspoon of salt for taste. You can skip, it's optional, or you can decide to put it, but make sure you taste. So I will be using my spoon to mold. I am not actually good in molding. So our oil is very hot. It is very hot. Then you start molding your puff puff inside the oil. You can decide to use your hand to mold. You can decide to use your spoon to scoop it into the oil. Actually, personally, I'm not good in molding. I'm not good when it comes to this. So in this recipe, I tried two methods. I used my hand and I actually used my spoon to see what the shape will look like. But let's keep watching. Let's keep watching. So at this stage, make sure you are using your skewer or maybe your frying spoon to turn the puff puff. Keep turning it upside down. Turn, turn, turn. Continue. Please don't allow your puff puff to burn. And I am not frying on a high heat. I am using a medium heat to fry this puff puff so that our puff puff will fry very, very well. If you use a high heat in frying this puff puff, it is not going to be good. So continue turning your puff puff until it is done. You can see the color is changing. You can see it is changing to golden brown. Our puff puff is getting ready. Our puff puff will soon be ready. Where is your spoon? Oh, bring your spoon and your basket with a little towel so that it can drain out the oil from the puff puff. You're seeing that puff puff? So yummy. So yummy, so yummy, so yummy. Continue turning it. Make sure you don't leave your puff puff on the fire. Oh. Turn it upside down so that it will be done. Turn it very well. It's time to scoop. I'm scooping out my puff puff from the oil to the basket. You can see that puff puff. You can see how good that puff puff is looking. You can see how good and appetizing that puff puff is looking. This recipe is the best recipe for you. It is the best recipe. So we are going for the second batch. Just do it the same way we did for the first batch. You keep turning, 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 and the puff puff is bouncing inside my hot oil. Remember, I am not frying with a high heat. Make sure you will fry your puff puff with a medium heat so that your puff puff will be done very well. Continue turning it just the same way we did the first one. Keep turning, 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 turning. Our puff puff is getting ready. Get your basket close. Oh, it's getting ready. Please don't allow your puff puff to burn. Don't allow it to burn. Our puff puff is getting ready. Some people are salivating already. Our hot puff puff is getting ready. It's time to scoop. It's time to scoop it out. It is time. Oh, where is the spoon? Please get the spoon. Let's bring out this puff puff before it will burn. It is getting ready, ready. It is ready. The next thing you do here is to scoop the puff puff out from the oil so that it will not burn. Yeah. Here we have our yummy puff puff. You can make this recipe for your children at home. You can use it for your party as well. It is so yummy and so sweet. This recipe, I got about 30 pieces of puff puff from this recipe. I got about 30 pieces of puff puff from this beautiful recipe I am sharing to you. Please don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be getting notification of our new video. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks for stopping by. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe to our channel. A puff puff is ready. Thank you for watching till this stage. Please watch out for our next video. Bye bye.